Welcome to a New Visions Social Studies curriculum tutorial. In this video, we will show you how to modify a resource by adding text, editing text, or deleting content. We start by opening our web browser, preferably Chrome, and starting as always at curriculum.newvisions.org. Once you're there, scroll down and click on Social Studies. If I were teaching a lesson on the Crusades, I would mouse over the 9th grade Global History course and select Unit 9.5. I'm going to scroll down until I get to the section on the Crusades, and then select supporting question 1. Give it a click. Open in Google Docs by clicking on the purple button, and this will open the resource as a document. Make sure you are signed into a Google account at this point. I can tell that I am because I see my username in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. This blue box in the upper left-hand corner tells me that I'm only viewing the resource, which means that I can view the materials, click on the links, and print, but I cannot edit the document. We encourage every teacher to modify the resources in the New Visions curriculum to fit the needs of their students, but to do so, you have to be able to edit. To create a version of the resource that you can modify, select Make a Copy from the File pull-down menu. If you ever forget this step, there are directions at the top of most of the resources, right here, that explain how to do it. So I'm going to go to File and click Make a Copy. Name your copy something you will remember and organize it into whichever folder you would like. I'm just going to name mine with my name. Put it into my drive right here. Once I've selected that, I just click Select and OK. Your copy of the resource will open in a new tab. Now that you've made a copy, you can change any part of this document that you would like. This video will focus on deleting content and adding and editing text. To delete something from the resource, you simply select it and hit Delete or Backspace. For example, if I have read through the teacher overview pages and already recorded the standards in my lesson plan, then maybe I want to delete the first few pages, so when I share this resource with students, they will only see the section intended for them, which starts here. For formatting reasons, much of the content in the New Vision Social Studies resources are in tables, like this one. We will go over how to edit and create these tables in another tutorial, but it is important to know that they are there even when you are editing and deleting content. For example, if I want to delete this section with the essential question, supporting question, and objective in it, but only delete what is inside the table, then I end up with a blank table instead of blank space. To delete this and any table properly, you either right-click on the table and select Delete Table, or you can select just before and just after the table, then hit Backspace or Delete. If you have some strange spacing in your document after deleting something, it's probably because there is a table hiding in there. I'm going to delete all of this teacher overview page by selecting the space at the very top of the page and selecting down to the bottom of the teacher overview section and hitting delete. Now I'm left with just the student-facing part of the resource. Now on to adding and editing text. Let's say I'm looking over the resource And there are a few things that I'd like to change, starting with the introduction. The introduction to this lesson requires students to look at the images and map, then predict what they will learn about the Crusades based on the images and their prior knowledge. I like this introduction. But we don't use the term introduction in my school, so the kids would be confused. We say do now. So I'm going to delete the word introduction and type in do now, just like I would on Microsoft Word. Also, when I make handouts for class, I usually make the directions a lot bigger than New Visions did. So I'm going to edit that text by selecting it and then making the font bigger by using this pull-down menu here. I would also like to emphasize the directions by changing the color, highlighting the text, and centering it. To change the text color, I use this pull-down menu. Let's choose red. To change the alignment of the text, I can use any of these buttons here, but I want to center it, so I'll choose this one. And then to highlight the text, I go back to the same pull-down menu that I used to change the text color, but I click on this button that says highlight first, then choose my color. I'll choose yellow. In addition, I can also bold, italicize, underline, and choose from a number of options in the Format pull-down menu, like strike through or change the line spacing. So if I wanted to bold this text, I can click here. Italicize is right next to that. Underline. And if I come up to Format, I have even more options. If I wanted to strike through, of course I don't because the directions are important, but if I wanted to, I could. So there you go. Now you have seen how to modify a resource by adding text, editing text, or deleting content.